this one. We had someone ask if we could announce the winners during the call, but I don't know. I guess maybe after I announce them, you guys, if someone wants to type them into the groups, they could, or I'll probably just do it after. If you missed the call, you just gotta have to do it after. Okay, so thank you for joining. Today is an exciting call for our team because I just think being able to give away, Mother's Day scholarships is something that is very exciting for our team. Reading applications and just, I don't know. I think there's just been, as a mother myself, there's been different times in my life where people have given me coaching or taken a chance on me. And when I couldn't have made it happen myself, and it's made a world of a difference, from like a gym membership or some tips and advice on things. And so we're just so excited to be able to do these coaching scholarships. And then for those of you on the other side who have completed the Hotter Than Summer challenge, we are super excited to congratulate the two that are going to receive coaching there. So we are going to make you guys wait just like a minute before we announce those, and we're going to answer some questions. And we will announce all of the winners for the Hotter Than Summer grand prize, which is 6 months of one-on-one coaching. And then the second prize, which is 3 months of one-on-one coaching. So we'll announce those probably first, and then we'll move on to the Mother's Day scholarships and announce those at the end. We are giving away 2 scholarships for 6 months of one-on-one coaching and 1 year of programming. So lots of giveaways at the end of the call today. And I wanted to first go through, because we didn't finish all of the questions from our call last week, and there were some good ones. So I wanted to make sure I just reviewed those to see if there was anything else we could answer before we talk through scholarships and giveaways. Okay, so one was, I like this one. It's broad, so we could go a lot of different ways with it, but anything you can share on mindset and habits would be great. Oh, and anything on self-sabotage. So this is probably something we could take a whole call to discuss. But I would say first, one of the most impactful books, I'm just looking to see if I have it right here. I probably do, but one of the most impactful books that I have read on mindset and habits would be Atomic Habits by James Clear, right? That's who it is. Let me just double check and see if oh, it must be in another room. I think I lent it out recently too. It is such a good book, Atomic Habits. I highly recommend. Casey, do you want to share some thoughts on that too? I'm going to answer Scotty's question really quick because I know you also love Atomic Habits, on just like why you love it. And Casey is with us from Norway visiting Henrietta.
We're in the same room. Yeah. I love Atomic Habits. I've read it twice, and the biggest kind of takeaway for me for the book is that you read it, and it's, first of all, it's an easy read, right? It's not super dense. And once you finish reading it, you're like, oh, like that was just common sense that he just so clearly like laid out in a nice organized way that you almost want to be like, duh, like why didn't I think of that? But again, it makes so much sense that you can really take it into your daily life and start implementing some of the recommendations.
Hey, good.
A lot of the habits are having to do with mindset. So like one of the biggest ones he has an example of that I think confident could do is like for those that are trying to quit a habit. And he gives the example.
Not really. It's like a personal thing.
And instead of saying, you know, I'm someone that's trying to quit XYZ, it's really like, you know, I'm a non-smoker, right? I'm a non-drinker, or I'm somebody who exercises regularly, right? If you're trying to become someone, thinking that you are that person rather than what you're trying to do, shifts that mindset a little bit. And I think it's a little easier to execute. So that was probably my favorite takeaway.
Yeah. And I think that leads into the self-sabotage portion, right? I think it can be easy to self-sabotage if we don't really believe like we can do something, right? Where if we any other areas of our life, if we like make a mistake or we have something not happen that day that normally does, we're not like, oh, I'm a failure, right? I'm trying to think of an example of that. What that would be like if you brush your teeth, right? So maybe you missed a morning because you had chaotic kids woke you up. You wouldn't like guilt yourself and feel like you're a terrible person that can't brush their teeth if you missed a morning, right? That's like part of your identity. You're someone that brushes their teeth. It's something you do every morning. You're not going to shame yourself about it. You'll do it later that day, like when you get back home or whatever it is, right? Where if maybe you had a meal that didn't go your way, like as you had planned, it's really easy, I think, for people to just create a lot of shame around that in their identity. And instead of seeing that and then further sabotaging yourself, you can see it as, no, I'm someone that eats healthy. I like to take care of my body. I'm going to have meals that aren't as planned. And that's just part of life. But I identify as someone that really takes care of my body and my health. And so I'm not going to let that stress me out or bother me. I'm just going to keep moving forward and make the next meal one that is on plan, right? So I think just on the self-sabotage, asking yourself those questions. Why am I self-sabotaging? Is it because I really don't think I can do this? Am I setting the expectation way too high for myself right now? Do I need to adjust my expectations, or do I need better systems to support my expectations, right? Like maybe I need to adjust my systems, my support, how I do things, and so that I can feel confident in being consistent at the habits that I want to be consistent with.
I think it's also about going outside your comfort zone. Like when oftentimes we want to be in our comfort zone, even if that is something that hurts us, like because we know that we know what to expect. So then when we're trying to change habits that are not necessarily good for us, or we want to change to something that is, aligns with our goals, that can be scary and can really take us outside of our comfort zone. And then that could be that fear that is kind of stopping us for taking that step, because we are kind of we want to be comfortable. Like that is
Yes,
the case. So just being a little bit aware of that as well, that is that about that, or is it something else?
yeah, our bodies and our minds want to resist change, even if it's good change. So just acknowledging that too, like, okay, yep, this is going to take me a minute to get this habit. And I think someone asked, how consistent do you need to be for fat loss? 100% of days on target. And I think that's a good question too. And I like what James talks about in Atomic Habits, that we need more votes for the person that we want to be or identify as for them than we do against them, basically. So like every time we're making an action that supports our goals, that's a vote to who we are trying to be or who we want to identify as. And so for fat loss, what I have seen really to be the most successful for people is like just getting an A, right? So it's been a while since I've been in school and I've had to turn in assignments, but I think an A is 93 or above, right? 93% or above. I guess maybe it's different in different places, but generally speaking, right? Is that the case in Norway? Do you guys do A's, B's?
Yes, it's different. Some that like sometimes it's 1 to 6 and then it's A's to B's.
Okay.
Yeah,
So 93% is an A from my childhood. And then I think is it 89% or above, that's an A minus. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm 35. It's been a minute since I've been in school, but essentially that is, I think, what you need to see success, like 89% or above. And I don't necessarily think 99% is better than 89%, because 99% or 100% are going to be much harder to do. That's just way harder to maintain, right? That takes a lot more sacrifice, which I think can sometimes throw us into all or nothing. We're either on point or we're just letting the rails, like off the rails, right? And so if you can maintain 90%, which is, like I said, math is not my strong suit. I want to say like 27 days, 28 days out of 30. Then you're going to see awesome progress. And if you are doing 100% on, you're probably not really living your life, right? I've had periods of my life where I've had to be closer to that 100%. Maybe not always with nutrition, but like bodybuilding, that was with nutrition. Competing with CrossFit, that was like I had to be nearly 100% with my workouts. And both of those times in my life where I've had to be 100% with either my training or my nutrition or both, I have felt like kind of like garbage, to be honest, because I have been so laser focused on that thing, which was worth it for me. And it might be worth it for you in the short term. But it's exhausting to be 100% focused on something. So it has to be so important for it to be worth it. And you have to be, and you can't really like live a normal life. And so I think that's why we recommend sustainability, because we want you to be successful with your goals through moving, through season changes, through sickness, through travel. And so, because that's what life is, right? You can't be 100% laser focused on something for more than a few weeks at a time, or even a few months at a time. So if you can, whatever you're committing to in regards to habits, you should ask yourself, okay, can I do this for a year? And if you can't, then it's probably not something worth pursuing. And I think in regards to fat loss, right? Most of us probably don't want to be in a calorie deficit for a year. But if you have set those habits up for success, like eating more vegetables, getting in more protein, drinking more water, getting outside, getting in movement, then it's really easy to just step down into a little lower energy intake, into that calorie deficit, and feel really good and consistent. And it doesn't need to be 100%. You don't need to track your food meticulously 100% of the time. But if you're doing that 90% of the time, then you're going to see progress. And if you're doing that 90% of the time and you're not seeing progress, then that's where we can look at things and see, okay, do we need to lower your intake a little bit more to put you more into a deficit? Or do we need to add more activity? Or do we need to look at recovery, food quality, some of those things as well? So if you aren't, and then also time, right? It takes time to see progress. So if it's been a week or even 2 weeks and you haven't seen the scale move, don't stress out about that. If you're making a change of any kind, it's going to take a minute for your body to adapt. And it's also going to take a minute for that to show up on the scale for many reasons. Anything to add to that? I think just it's easier to be consistent with, you know, when you expect moments of imperfection throughout the process, like that's part of the process.
And also just like having an awareness of like where you're at, because I've experienced that sometimes with clients where they are reversing, and there can definitely be a lot of body comp change in a reverse. But I feel sometimes I'm experiencing that a client is expecting fat loss results when they're not in a fat loss, like when they're in maintenance or when they're in a reverse. Then I kind of have to remind them, like, we're not there yet. Like, we're doing the pre-work now to set you up for success. But we could be seeing body comp change, and very often do. But it's just also having that awareness of where am I in the process, and am my expectations, does that align with where I'm at in the moment? So I think that's just something that is important to think about as well.
Yeah. And I would say, okay, this last question was just talking about, I tend to have hormone fluctuations and negative effects around my ovulation for a few days, moodiness, cramping, fatigue. I'm already taking a supplement to help with hormones daily. It has magnesium and vitamin B6, but do you have any recommendations for what I can do to decrease my symptoms? I still exercise and believe it helps, but it's annoying. Not on any birth control. So I would first just want to know what supplement you're taking, because it might have magnesium in it, but if it's not magnesium glycinate, that's going to be what is very helpful with period symptoms. A lot of supplements just have magnesium oxide or magnesium citrate, and those are helpful, but more for like digestion, not necessarily for just supporting your nervous system and supporting through those hormonal fluctuations. So I would check that it is magnesium glycinate. And also, if it's a combo supplement, I would think that it's likely you're not getting enough of the magnesium glycinate. 400 milligrams is the daily recommended dosage. So I would check and see how many milligrams that you're yours is. So if it is magnesium glycinate, and then see how much you're taking, you just might need more to support you through that. And then also sleep is going to be very important. I know this woman said that she's working out, but making sure you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, maybe even a little bit more during that period of time. You just might need more rest and recovery. And the moodiness too, like I would just look at diet. Like, how does your diet look overall? Are you getting enough nutrients in your diet as well?
Stress too, Michaela,
Yes.
I mean, this is a topic I have personal experience with, but stress is a big one, as is understanding kind of how your cortisol levels are tracking throughout the day, which I know can be tough, but it might be worth getting like a deeper dive into things with blood work.
Yes. And oh, good. And also caffeine intake too. I would look at that. Like, you might be over caffeinating too, which can definitely add to stress and anxiety as well. So just looking at that, like, how's your caffeine intake? Are you over 300 milligrams a day? Are you kind of more of a, like, on the lower end of that? Just those are things I would look at as well. And then, Kay, on to the announcements. I feel like nervous. Okay. So first of all, I just want to read a couple wins from our Hotter Than Summer challenge that you guys shared that were so fun to read. And I'll just keep them anonymous here. But one was just about counting macros. Counting macros has been something I've always been intimidated by, and this challenge has been such a good practice that has become more intuitive for me. When I go back and log my food for the day, I'm often very close on my macros, and that's super exciting for me. Travel and camping, I'm so proud that I was able to stay as consistent as possible. I got a lot stronger. I have learned to love taking walks with my kids, such great bonding time. This challenge has encouraged me to really nourish my body through food, sleep, hydration, and movement. And I've noticed that my mood and blood sugar have been a lot more stable, and my family has noticed the improvement as well. And this is the best win for me. I loved that. Someone else, I hit my goal pre-pregnancy weight, but more than that, I felt better and stronger this challenge and rarely weighed myself. I felt and saw the changes. Someone else, I lost 5 pounds, and prioritizing sleep has been awesome. The challenge was exactly what I needed to kickstart my summer. Down 4 pounds and ran 24-minute 5K. Another, definitely made walking more of a habit for me, which I'm super happy about. Someone else, workouts were fun, and I love the extra push to focus on steps and food choices. I love the community. Increasing weights from the beginning of the cycle to the end, getting in 10,000 steps a day and gains in my workouts. This person, I'm feeling much stronger and have felt amazing, increasing my protein intake. Someone else, everything went really well, and I noticed a big difference with electrolytes and not getting a headache throughout the day. It really helped to hit my water goal as well. Someone else, I lost 6 pounds, and I know I've gained muscle, had multiple PRs, and overall felt great. Wins for me were being very good with my nutrition. I felt like I stuck to it really well and was really proud of that. Adding vegetables helped a lot. I lost almost 7 pounds. I'm leaner. And I was able to modify workouts with my back, which I'm really grateful for. My wins are being down 6 pounds, dropping 1.2% body fat, and lost an inch on my waist, and I'm functioning better overall. And then another person, using the hotel gym and focusing on things that were in my control while out of town: sleep, water, steps, veggies. Someone else lost 5 pounds. So many wins coming from you guys. It was so much fun to get to watch all of you do the Hotter Than Summer challenge. And I think the biggest thing I hope that all of you take away is that you don't need to be perfect to see progress, and just continuing to focus on, even if it's just one of those things that you continue to focus on after this, like, it's going to benefit you. And hopefully you can continue to look for that biofeedback in ways that you're improving and feeling better, and know that it's not just about the scale. In fact, that's like the least important thing. But so pay attention to everything. Look at all of your biofeedback. How am I feeling? How is my digestion? How's my recovery? How's my energy? And just noticing those things, because those are going to be the biggest wins for you in the long run too. So thanks for joining. Thanks for trusting us with the challenge. We are definitely going to be doing more. And then as far as prizes go, grand prize for the challenge for 6 months of one-on-one coaching is Joelle Einerson. Congratulations. I don't know if she's on the call. I don't see her, so we'll have to share that on the app. And then the winner for 3 months of one-on-one coaching is Carissa Hebden. So huge, huge, huge congrats to both of you. Congrats to everyone else that did the challenge and participated. Yeah, congratulations. And then we have been pouring over all of the Mother's Day applications and are super excited. We're giving away two coaching scholarships of 6 months for one-on-one coaching with our team. And then we are giving away 1 year of programming. So the first 6 month scholarship that we are giving away is to Kim Mortensen. Congratulations. And then the second one, I don't know if she's on either, is Nydia Settembre. So congratulations to both of you. We'll be reaching out with talking through start dates and coaching. And then we are giving away 1 year of programming to Maura Wren. So thank you for everyone that filled out a scholarship or nominated someone. It was just so touching to go through all those and read all of those. And for those that filled out an application for a scholarship and didn't receive one, just know that I will be emailing you a special something today or tomorrow. So stay tuned for an email from me. And if you don't get it by Friday, then shoot me an email and let me know. But everyone that submitted one will be getting just something coming from me. So just check your junk mail if you don't see anything by Friday. And thank you everyone that joined. Hopefully those of you that are doing our next phase of HF Physique are loving it. Week 1 is this week. And then at the end of this cycle, in 6 weeks, we will be starting the full body, which I'm really excited about. And I know it's like 50-50. People are very excited about upper lower splits. People are very excited about full body. So we will just keep rotating them. And if you don't like one, just know it's a new stimulus and you're going to benefit. So thank you everyone for joining the call today. Thanks for being a part of our community. And as always, please reach out if you have any questions. I'll be sharing these winners on the app. Thanks for joining.